Welcome to Search for Signs. My name is Gary Willing. If this information interests you, please press the like and subscribe button and press the bell for notifications. Today I want to touch on the second universal law that governs all of us, the law of rebirth or reincarnation. Most people have heard of that term, whether they agree with it or not or believe it or not, but they don't live by its principle, and they don't live by the principle that of law and cause and effect and how it's affecting their lives in this life, how their previous life's ideas and thoughts and actions and negative or positive are affecting their life today, but also how we're building our next lifetime moment to moment by what we do right now. And one of, I think, Maitreya's core mission statements and teachings, when you see him on TV and people start to hear about him more and more, wonder who he is maybe, he's going to talk at great length about the need for harmlessness. I don't think he'll ever stop talking about that because it's the most important thing that we all could do. You ever wonder what your soul's purpose is? We all have ideas about our soul's purpose being this or being famous or doing this great thing. The number one thing that all our souls have in common, the soul's purpose, is to create right human relations. And you can't create right human relations when you're living harming other people. So it is our soul's purpose too, not only Maitreya's purpose or Jesus's purpose. But how does that interact with what we call reincarnation? Well, I think it goes hand in hand with it. Now, coming from a Christian background and living in the United States, some people have a vague idea and they may, I kind of get it. I kind of believe in reincarnation. They kind of hope for it. Maybe they can come back and continue on with what they're doing for whatever it is. But I think, if you look at it from the biblical perspective, I think that a lot of it was taken out intentionally. Think about it like this. You're the Catholic Church. You want to control your people. You want to gain as much riches as you can. What's a better tact? Telling people that the only way to survive and not go to hell is to believe in what you say, or to tell them the truth. Well, we all got lifetimes, many lifetimes. So if you don't get it in this lifetime, relax, kid, relax. It's okay. You'll get it in the next one. Well, of course, the answer to that is. And if the churches only had our best interest at heart, we wouldn't be having this discussion, but we would, because the majority of them, not all of them, but a lot of the churches, especially throughout the history, have only thought about themselves and not its own people, just like the governments of the world are not that concerned with all of us. They're only concerned with their own power. Is they would have, that's the reason why we're fed the misinformation that we're being fed. And, a side note, about karma and the law of cause and effect. If you watch videos, people talk about aliens and UFOs taking us over, abducting us, animal mutilations, and so forth. The Space Brothers, without exception, live with the truth, and they live the truth that what they do affects them. So they live totally harmlessly, moment to moment. Same thing with Maitreya and all the masters. They live moment to moment harmless because of the fact that they know that if they harm somebody else, it harms them. So they've learned the lesson that you and I are all learning throughout the course of many, many lifetimes. And, reincarnation was in the Bible, and it's actually left, some of it was left in there. I don't know if they forgot about it or they just didn't pick up on it, but it escaped the cutting board some kind of way. But the two that come to mind, one, when Jesus and the disciples go to the temple and they see the beggar who was born blind. What is it that Peter asked Jesus? Was it something that he did or something that his father did? Now, why would he have asked that question about, is it something he did if the beggar was born blind, right? And then the second one, when Jesus was asking his disciples, who do the people say that I am? They all came up with different answers. Some say you're Elijah, come back. Other ones say you're John the Baptist, come back, and so forth and so forth. And whether the disciples or whoever said that, whoever the people were thinking he was John the Baptist, maybe they had a misconception of what reincarnation is, but why would he have asked that question? Or why would they have answered that question in that way had they not been at least discussing the truth of reincarnation, you see? So I think it's there. And I think it's something that, you don't have to worry about what you're going to do in your next lifetime. You only have to worry about what you're doing right now. Because what you're doing right now is affecting the future for yourself through the law of cause and effect. And I think when you see Maitreya on TV, which I think I know he's on TV now, but when you see him and people are starting to wonder who this person is who's talking in such a way that's so different from other people about our own problems, about how we solve our problems and so forth, and how simple it is to solve these problems, and they start to experience the truth of his words, they'll start to see and hear that what he's talking about is the need for harmlessness, the need for harmlessness among nations, among individuals. But then I'm sure he'll start talking about the fact of the reality of reincarnation to help, not only is it a truth, but it's also going to help alleviate a lot of the fear that we all have about death, and how death is not the end. It's just the beginning. It's just the continuation of our own life, because we are, as I said in the other video, we are souls with bodies. We're not bodies with a soul like an appendix that when we die, that's when we discover our soul. Who is living moment to moment is the soul through the body. The soul is the immortal being, not the body. The body of who you and I are, the personality, that dies when it dies. But yet who you are, the core of who you are, will go on. Nothing dies in the universe. It just transforms, right? So these masters will touch on and talk more and more and more to where everybody without exception will know for a fact that we have more lifetimes to come. Whether we want it or not, we have it. Now, the more harm you cause, the more lives you have. The less harm you cause and eventually live harmless, well, guess what? You stop having to reincarnate and you become a master too, because that's the potential for all of us. So thank you for letting me share this side of the story with you, and I look forward to talking to you again in future videos. Have a great day.